Good afternoon, Fin fans, and welcome back to another episode of AT Phins News. So, in this episode, we're going to be doing a little deep diving into our roster, just to take a look at to see if there's any available free agents still remaining on the board that the Miami Dolphins can bring in and help complete this overall roster and help the Miami Dolphins compete for the AFC East division as well as a deep playoff push. Since, that's the goal every year, right? So without further ado, guys, let's just get right into it, shall we? So the last week or so, I've been definitely deep diving into like the social media, Twitter, looking at what our fan base is saying about our roster in general, and the consensus really throughout all of our platforms, the Dolphins platforms on YouTube or Twitter or even Facebook, there's a lot of excitement building as far as the Miami Dolphins fan base. This is one of the few times where there's so much excitement. And after last season, and then with all the claims and reports from Brian Flores earlier in the year, it was kind of like a black eye in this organization where we keep going through all these processes, right? Where if it wasn't for the bully gate, if it wasn't for a coach doing some white substance off of a table during work hours, there's always something with this organization. And then Stephen Ross, our owner, trying to throw games right at the beginning of this offseason. But after all that has kind of cleared and not as many people are talking about it anymore, the fan base in general is truly excited just by that one big move, acquiring Tyreek Hill from the Chiefs, as well as getting Teron Armstead from the Saints as a free agent to help build this line. And then we also got Williams from the Cowboys as our guard. So we see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? And now that we've brought these playmakers in, Tyreek Hill's easily top 5 at his position, as well as Teron Armstead when he's healthy. He might be number 1 or number 2 tackle in the entire NFL. So we've really never done that as far as building the team through free agency. I'm not saying that we haven't went out there and spent big in free agency, because the Dolphins have done that always and will continue to do that. And in the past, they've brought in big-time free agents such as Ndamukong Suh and paid him all that money, or Brandon Marshall, we got and paid him all that money, or even Mike Wallace, we got him from the Steelers, right, and paid him all that money, and it didn't really work out. But this time, we brought in a bona fide superstar at the wide receiver position that is blazing fast to pair him with Jalen Waddle, our young player coming into his own as well. Just to have like a track team, bringing in Raheem Mostert, another track star type talent. Even Edmonds from the Cardinals, he's a blazer. So we can see what the team's envisioning, right? We know that they're, with Mike McDaniel being here, he's going to want to shore up and fix that offensive line immediately because of the type of offense he runs. He loves to run the ball first. He loves to do the zone scheme offense, and he needs the certain type of players. That's why, in my opinion, that's why they're keeping Austin Jackson, to see what he's going to be able to do with this coaching staff, because he has that athletic build that Mike McDaniel is seeking in a tackle if they are going to end up moving him back to tackle or keeping at guard. They like that athletic tight end that can pull, just like they had Williams from the 49ers with Mike McDaniel. He's extremely athletic tackle that you've seen him pulling constantly in their offense, and I think that's what they're going to try to do with Austin Jackson. But it's yet to be seen if he's going to actually be able to live up to that, because his first 2 years have been mediocre at best. We can all agree on that. But as far as our overall complete roster, what do we need to get over that hump and make us a legit Super Bowl contender? That's what we're looking at in this episode. And for me, I've been banging the table, you guys know, since day one of free agency, since I seen the Browns release them. I would truly love to see on Bleacher Report or breaking news that the Miami Dolphins have signed center J.C. Treader. He's a top 10 center in this league. I'm surprised the Browns even released him. He's been a Pro Bowler in the past, and he's just a big upgrade to Michael Dieter. Not saying I don't like Michael Dieter as a player. I think from year one to where he's at now, I believe going into year 4, he's improved each and every year because year one he was dreadful. Year two he didn't see really any much playing time besides here and there at guard whenever they had injuries. And then this year he played center until he got hurt, and then he retook over the role after he came back. I've seen his progression, but there's levels to this, guys, and J.C. Tretter's way above him as far as a top caliber center. So if we're looking at improving this overall team and really helping this team on offense, and not only on offense but on the defense side of the ball, because we're going to be able to sustain drives with another legit offensive lineman in there, that would make 3 legit ones right off the bat. Well, 4 if you're counting Robert Hunt, and then we just got one other position. We got they can all fight for that one position, and whoever comes out on top comes out on top. That would be my dream scenario as far as the offensive side of the ball goes. They should just go out there, spend the money, do whatever they need to do to get him in the building. So then you can see we would have J.C. Tretter at center. We would have Williams at one of the guards from the Cowboys. We would have Teron Armstead. We would have Robert Hunt. And then at the last tackle position or guard, wherever you're going to move these guys, they can fight it out with Austin Jackson, Eichenberg, players like that. That's what I think the best possible outcome could be to finish this offense up. Just because as far as Tua goes as our quarterback, and not just him as a quarterback, but any quarterback in the league, if they get pressure right up the middle right away, it's going to be hard for any quarterback to overcome that issue, just because it's hard for them to see over the line, but especially our quarterback that's kind of on the smaller side. He's good at evading pressure when he sees it. He can move out of the pocket to buy some time to try to make a throw downfield, but why have to do that if you don't have to, right? So why not just go out there and get J.C. Tretter as our center? He's not going to get pushed back like Michael Dieter would pretty regularly during the games. At least 5-6 times a game you'd see him be pushed back. And if you guys like Michael Dieter, we can you keep J.C. Tretter, move him at center, and have Michael Dieter compete for a guard position. He's already proven he can play guard whenever people are injured, or have him on the bench for backup, because we don't need a situation where we have a solid starting line, but if there's one injury on that line, because how linemen get injured constantly each year, at least 1 or 2 will go down from some point or for some time during the year. Why not have linemen that can come in and actually fill the gaps, where it's not going to just blow up this whole offense where we're not going to be able to do nothing or consistently put up first downs to keep our defense on the field if we have one major injury to that offensive line. So the key is to have sustainability up front with the starting crew, and when they go out with injury for 2-3 games, we have a couple backup linemen in there that can fill their roles and play complementary football, where they're not going to be the reason why the Miami Dolphins are struggling in this upcoming season. So J.C. Tretter is number 1 on my list. Another thing that I feel that we truly need is a true middle linebacker, a young middle linebacker anywhere from 25 to 27 years old that can come in here and get the job done on a consistent basis. I love Jerome Baker, but he's not a true middle linebacker. I like our middle linebacker we had last year from the Patriots, but he is detrimental in the passing game. We need a middle linebacker that can play both, that can be physical up front to stop that running game, and then we can move Jerome Baker to the weak side linebacker where he belongs, and he can flourish there. Because if you guys noticed last year, at the beginning of the year when people were kind of hating on Jerome Baker because he was struggling and we paid him all that money for a guy just to struggle, whenever Brian Flores actually moved him to his proper position, he flourished. He did at least a lot better than he did at the beginning of the year at middle linebacker. When Roberts came back, that was his name I was thinking about. When he came back and became middle linebacker, the defense kind of played more as a whole in unison together, just because people were back at their proper positions on defense. That's why I seen the other day when the Dolphins brought in Fred Warner for a visit. I mean, I know he comes with some baggage, but he would have been excellent for this defense just because he's a true middle linebacker that's physical up front, and he can handle the pass game. So you're not having to take out a player and bring in a player of weaker talent just because they can't cover a certain position on the field. So, I mean, I'm hoping, I know that this organization, or at least this coaching staff, it just seems that they can identify the needs that the team has to have to take them over the top, and that's why I'm starting to believe in this coaching staff. So hopefully they can get those. I honestly feel that with the team that's constructed right now, the Miami Dolphins, we have a chance, guys, to go as far as we possibly can as long as this talent can gel together, work together. That's why I love seeing them in the building grinding now. They're working with Tua to try to build that chemistry, Tua and the receivers. So hopefully Tua can have a breakout year, because we all know this is the year he's going to have to prove it. It's year 3. The fan base, obviously, some of the fans, like Tua fans, say that he should get more time than 3 years, but how impatient this fan base is right now and are craving for a winner. I don't see Tua lasting after this year unless he proves it. And I'm hoping he proves it, guys. There'll be nothing better for us to come out this year and Mike McDaniel unlock something that Flores could never unlock as Tua being our quarterback, and he just balls out. Maybe all he did need was that confidence that the head coach gives him, like Mike McDaniel day one came in and gave him. So it's really riding on the not just Tua's shoulders, but this entire team, how they're gonna come together as one unit and prove all the naysayers wrong. Oh, they can't win with Tua. Tyreek Hill's gonna be irrelevant now that he's in Miami, which is complete nonsense. I mean, how are you gonna be irrelevant when you're the fastest player in the NFL, or one of them? One of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and people underestimate his route running. Tyreek Hill's an excellent route runner. To pair him with the speed that Jalen Waddle has on the opposite side of the field or in the slot, wherever they're going to move these two around, it's going to be exciting to see. And that's why, even if you guys watch the Pat McAfee show, he's saying he doesn't even remember in the last 30 years where he can legitimately say he's excited to see Miami Dolphins play football on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, we all know how exciting the Dolphins defense was towards the end of last year, and then the year prior to that, Tua's rookie year, how they were just exciting to watch with their zero blitzes, would cause havoc on the offense. They would turn over the ball a lot. They would get turnovers. They would even get their touchdowns in just like last year. So that was exciting. That was the exciting part to see of the Miami Dolphins. But if you guys really look back and think about it, when's the last time you've been this excited of watching the Miami Dolphins play football on the offensive side of the ball? And that's what I'm looking forward to this year, because if we can't get it done with this coaching staff, with Mike McDaniel being really focused on the offense side of the ball and making this offense great, then something's going to have to change. Because if you can't get an offensive-minded coach in here and they can't move, they can't move the needle on offense or push this offensive ranks up, then we're going to have to look at everything, because there's an organization failure at that point. But as far as the players we really need to be a complete football team, we're there right now, guys. We just need to add a couple depth pieces. That's why I wanted to bring in J.C. Treader, just so we can move one of these linemen to the bench and even work on Solomon Kindley on the bench, just so in case there's any injuries on that line, we can move him in and it's not going to cost this offense or cost them games because the offensive linemen are out. Because as it stands right now, if Armstead, if Williams, if Robert Hunt, even if Michael Dieter right now, if one of them are injured during this year, who's our backups that we're confident enough that they're going to step in and even do a decent job to help Tua win games? So it's all, and in football, everything's about injuries, guys. So people get injured all the time in the NFL. So you're going to have backups good enough to step on this field and perform at a high level to keep this Dolphin team winning games and not going on a 2-3 game losing streak because they lost 2 linemen or they lost 2 linebackers. Imagine if we lost Xavier Howard or Byron Jones. We've seen what happened at the beginning of the year last year because they weren't healthy, both of them. So we had to go to a lot of zone defense, and offenses were just torching us at the beginning of the year. We thought this defense fell apart already. So I would say we need a middle linebacker because we already have good depth at the linebacker position, but we need like a star middle linebacker would be great, but I'll take a top 10 middle linebacker would be excellent. We need the one center or one more lineman. We need to be able to either develop no egg monogamy, let him go, or go get another corner just in case something happens to Byron or X. We know we got a guy that can step in and ball out and keep us in games because this defense, as Mike McDaniel thought it would be, he just wanted to keep this defense together, and that's what we did. Even signing John Jenkins recently, we re-signed him. They're just trying to keep this defense intact because they believe in how good they are. They were just trying to focus everything on the offense because they feel if they can go up from, the 27th ranked offense in the NFL, if they can take it up to 15 to even 10, they're going to be a problem in the NFL because that defense is going to maintain a top 10 NFL defense this year in their mind because they re-signed everybody and they feel they have a better coaching staff now than they did before. But that's just a wait-and-see game. We're going to have to wait and see when the regular season starts and how they can adjust on the fly because that's something we won't know until the season starts. But the holes on this team, there's not that many guys, and there hasn't been this less of holes on the Miami Dolphins in 20 plus years. So as Fin fans, we should all be excited. We should all be gathering around and instead of having this big division in our fan base, we should all come together and just be excited for this team because there hasn't been a lot of years where we can all say we're legitimately excited about this team. So as long as they can go out and get that one more lineman, the linebacker, another corner, develop a corner, the sky's the limit, guys, and we should all just sit back and enjoy this because, when's the next time we're going to be able to actually say we're going to be able to see this type of performance on the field? So hopefully they can put it all together, guys. This is going to do it for this video. If you guys are new to this channel, if you guys can please hit that subscribe button so we can help grow this channel organically, just like we have been for the last few months. We've been gradually growing. We're almost at 50 subscribers now, so if you guys can keep just hitting that subscribe button, I greatly appreciate it. Just hit that like button so more and more people on YouTube can, when they search the Miami Dolphins, it'll show up on there. Because not a lot of people even know that we're out here and we actually exist on the YouTube community. So if you guys can just hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, guys. But if there's any breaking news moving forward, because I know that a lot of Dolphin fans, and there's a lot of smoke regarding Deebo Samuel coming to Miami, which will just blow my mind. But never say never, I guess, with the way the NFL is running now. If there's any kind of breaking news, though, I'll be back this week. If not, I should be back Friday doing what are the Miami Dolphins expectations going into 2022 with all the new additions. We should be coming out with that video on Friday. But other than that, guys, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I love each and every one of y'all. You guys have a good week. Fins up, baby. I'm out. Peace.